Hello everyone, it's your favorite sussy propagandist KYN4 back with the video you've been waiting for, Supersymmetry Multiblocks Explained. Now, before we get into it, let me clarify. This video will go over basic summary of all the Supersymmetry exclusive multiblocks. So no electric blast furnace, no vacuum freezer, no fusion reactor. Those are all GregTech stuff. We are going over every single multi-block that is exclusive in this pack, and I'll explain what they do. A brief summary. I won't go into mad detail. This is not a guide for how to use every single one of them. This is just a showcase of all the multi-blocks in this pack that the devs have worked so hard to create. So let's put them all in the spotlight, and let's not let their hard work go to waste. So let's just get into it, boys. Let's run this shit. Starting off this list is the arc furnace. So basically, this bad boy is used for making alloys, and you're probably going to encounter this for the first time when you're going for stainless steel. So this is like the gateway to HV, technically. So yeah, you use this to make alloys. It's the replacement for the ABS because the alloy blast smelter is mothballed. We're not using it in this pack. So yeah, this is basically your alloy forge basically. So you're going to be making a lot of alloys with this in a more realistic fashion. Check out these recipes and also consult the JEI. But yeah, this is the arc furnace, the first of many multi-blocks. Next, the arc furnace complex is the same thing, but it's literally on steroids, bro. So it literally does the exact same, but it parallels. So you can make way more stuff a lot quicker. So literally, it's expensive. It's very expensive. You're not touching this until like late EV or mid EV, but it's really cool. So this is really sick. The advanced steam turbine basically just turns high pressure steam into power. These are very effective when you have them in coolant cycles with nuclear reactors because they will produce a lot of energy, but more on the reactors later. So basically, it's a glorified steam turbine. You know what it does. Next, the blender is basically the big brother of the mixer. So any recipe that works in a mixer will work way more effectively in a blender. So yeah, it will be used. It's going to be used for a lot of industrial, chemical, petrochemical applications. These are very critical for a lot of chains. Make sure you invest in these. They are very helpful. The catalytic reformer is used in petrochemistry. Basically, it's used to either make naphtha reformate or liquid p-xylene, which have other applications in other areas. But this is basically what it does. It only has 2 recipes as of me making this video. There may be more, but yeah. Also, don't ask why they're pink. I don't know why the multi-blocks form with titanium and not stainless steel. Developers, please fix this. But yeah. Clarifiers are used for making super alloys, so these are very important, and you're gonna have to make quite a few of them actually. So these are not the cheapest, or this is not the smallest, I mean, but basically, yeah, for like tantalum, niobium, tungsten, you're gonna need some of these. It also has a few other applications in different chains. I think it has something to do with the new brine update they done, but yeah, these are very useful for PGMs and super alloys. The coking tower is basically used for making green coke, which is basically Coke's like twin brother. Basically, it's just you're making more coke. You can use this other byproduct to make stuff for petrochemistry. Sorry, extract stuff for petrochemistry. But yeah, this thing's very niche. I haven't used it personally, but if there's a need, fulfill it with this thing. So yeah, on to the next multi. The condenser uses condensation to turn dense steam into water. So there's a lot of recipes in this game that produce dense steam as a byproduct. So you can, I mean, if for some reason you don't have much water or you want to stockpile or buffer, by all means build it. But yeah, it's very niche, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. The curtain coder is one of the newer multis in Sussy, and basically you use it to make advanced circuit boards, which currently no one in the pack has. Let's be real, no one has these because they're still working on the chain that goes to IV. Alright, so relax. You don't need to build one of these yet. But if you do build it for fun, make sure you have a clean room as well. So yeah, this is a very important multi-block for progression. You will utilize this more as the pack develops, but currently it's also very niche. The drone pad is every peaceful player's fantasy. So basically, this thing uses drones to go get you mob loot. So if you need to get leather, wool, mutton, just raw pork chops, whatever. The drones get it for you, and there's a technical reason as to why there isn't much mobs. There's also a law reason. I don't know any of this stuff, so don't ask me. But that's just what I heard from the people I've spoken to. So yeah, this is just basically for getting mob drops without actually having to go kill the mobs or find the mobs, I should say. The dumper basically is your fluid void in this game. So any fluid tooltip that's labeled voidable with dumper, is as it says, it can be voided with the dumper. So this is just to deal with wastewater, byproduct stuff you don't want. Yeah, very simple. The electrolytic cell is basically a giant ass electrolyzer, and players will first encounter this thing when you're getting aluminium. So yeah, basically it has a variety of recipes for getting hydrogen, oxygen, sodium hydroxide, that kind of stuff. I ain't getting into the details of this stuff. I'm just explaining what they're used for. And yes, the electrolytic cell, very early game, very useful, very nice. Evaporation pools are very ideal for collecting salt, and they're also used in acquiring bromine. So yes, there's other stuff too. Figure it out yourself. Use JEI. We have a lot of multi-blocks to get through, so yeah. The fermentation vat is used for fermenting. One of the most notable things you'll be using this for in early game, especially, is ethanol. Yes, very very helpful. Also, we're back in the lab. What's going on? So yeah, I'll be showcasing the rest of the multi-blocks in the lab from now on, provided they fit. The flare stack is similar to the dumper, except it's for flammable gases. So this thing basically voids hydrogen and anything else that says voidable with flare stack. You're seeing a trend now? Good. So, that's basically it. Next! The fluidized bed reactor will first be encountered when you go for titanium, right? And this basically, the quest book basically says it's used for advanced catalyzed processing later on. You can also use this to get ethanol in a more efficient way. So do that. Do that. And fact check me. Please fact check me. The froth flotation vat is used to make all sorts of different slurries. And these are very important when you're going for platinum group metals and super alloys. So you use these to make the slurries and then send the slurries into clarifiers. So yeah, these are very important. Make sure you invest in these when the time comes. The gas atomizer is very important, especially if you're going after nuclear reactors, because it basically turns superalloy electrodes into superalloy dust, which you can use specifically like Mnemonic 105, Inconel 710, and like Incolloy 825, 625, whatever it's called. So yeah, this is very like mid-game stuff. You're not a lot of 99% of the players don't have these, but to the 1% that do, very helpful, very useful. And to the less experienced players, be prepared to make these because they're not cheap. The gas turbine generates electricity using gas fuels to generate your power. So, ethanol, diesel, kerosene, all that sort of stuff. And their premium and supreme versions. Yeah, there's really not much to explain. You all know what a gas turbine is. I will clarify, these just got moved to EV. Okay, so to anyone that hasn't played the pack yet and thinking this is going to be easy, these are extreme voltage because a very specific developer was like, let's move it to EV. Anyway, yeah, that's the remake. Also, that very same developer implemented a ramp up and ramp down feature across all turbine / power generating multi-blocks. So basically, it's like where the RPM goes up, and as it goes up, the more power comes out until it maxes out at the max RPM. Refer to my my power options video for more on this particular thing. But we really got to get moving to the next multi-block. The gravity separator is used for advanced ore processing, and this basically involves like getting super alloys and stuff. So you're going to need a lot of these as well. So refer to the quest book and make sure you make a bunch of these because niobium, tantalum, all that stuff, you need a gravity separator. Very important, high priority once you get into EV. The heat exchanger is a very good early game option for geothermal power for your steam turbines. It's also very important for cryogenics. So yeah, these are very important. You're going to be needing these as you progress through the game. Xenon, Krypton, all that stuff. Going to need a heat exchanger at some point. So yeah. Okay, these next three are so similar. I'm just going to bunch them up into one segment. The high pressure, low pressure, and single column cryogenic distillation plants are literally used for acquiring noble gases. Krypton, xenon, neon, argon, all that stuff. all for cryogenics. I really can't be bothered to explain these and their recipes in detail. They're really annoying to work with if you ask me. That's just my opinion. But yeah, these are very important for cryogenics. So when you're going for like graphene and stuff, you're gonna need to get argon. So get these. Oh my goodness. The high temperature distillation plant is literally the polar opposite of the cryogenics ones. So basically, these are used to distill molten metals. Uh, Also, you can use these to get selenium. So very good, very good. Yes. So if you want to get copper or tin or whatever from this, by all means, go ahead. The hot isostatic press basically uses insane amounts of pressure to bend superalloys. Think of it as a bender slash extruder. But yeah, this is basically another important thing you're gonna need for um later game stuff. So get this. The induction furnace is another newer multi-block, and this basically this is used to make aluminium alloys. Now, currently there's only two, and they don't have any uses yet. But when rockets and stuff come out, these are going to be way more important. But currently, don't worry about making these. When the time comes, the time comes. So just yeah, induction furnaces. The injection molder is like an extruder for thermoplastics. So this is basically just well, I think this parallels. I think it parallels, but like you want a lot of like large PBI pipes, make them with this thing. Yeah, this will come in handy later for thermoplastics. Another new multi-block is the large combustion engine. So this is literally like a diesel generator, basically. It uses gasoline, diesel, other stuff, other fuels to make power. This also has the ramp up and down feature. So yes, very good in MV. Make sure you get this in MV, and this will carry you to like HV and all that stuff. So yeah, this is just another power generation multi. The large water pump basically just pumps in water and seawater, so you can use this for your base. These are pretty helpful, especially if you're using multi-flash distillation thingies. I'll talk about those later. But yeah, these are just good for getting a lot of water. The large weapons factory is where you're going to be making your missiles and your nuclear explosives. Yes, yes, yes. This is where you're going to violate the non-proliferation treaty. So, Iranian roleplay. Let's get it, baby. Yes, build this if you want to start World War III. The metallurgical converter is basically a replacement for the reverberatory furnace. So this is basically for copper and steel making. There's only two recipes currently, but I believe there will be more recipes for like aluminium and other stuff. I don't know. Ask the developers. Don't ask me. I'm just telling you what I'm looking at right now. So yeah, this is very useful. And this, the molten steel, if you go with that, this will come in handy for another multi-block, which we'll get into when we get up to it. So keep watching. Keep watching. The mining drill is just some big ass drill that you place on top of these deposits, which give you ores from an ore sorter. More on that in a second. But it depends on the deposit. So these are very expensive at first, but once you start making a lot of steel, they're pretty easy to mass produce. But yes, mining drills very important for early game. Get them. Get them now. So the mining drill mines the deposits out of the ground, and then you take those deposits and put them in an ore sorter. So then these ore sorters give you all these different ores, and this is basically how you automate your resource production. So yes, this is what the ore sorter is for. Very early game, very useful, very important, and it should be at the very top of your to-do list when you are in LV. This piece of shit here is a mixer settler, and I call it a piece of shit, not because it's bad or anything, it's just because it's annoying to build. Nevertheless, let's continue. The mixer settler is basically used for liquid to liquid extraction. So, yeah, this is very important multi-block. You're going to be using this a lot. Super alloys, PGMs, wait, PGM? Yeah, PGMs, the plutonium chain, uranium processing, or like, yeah, a lot of stuff. Very important. Multi-stage flash distiller is basically a desalination plant. So you're going to use this as a way to get water or concentrated water. You can get a lot of salt out of this. You can also make distilled water with it. So there's a few options here with water. But yeah, basically, literally just another way for you to get water and another way for you to get a few extra things you may need around your base. Yes, very important. Make one. The natural draft cooling tower is used as part of the nuclear reactor's cooling cycle, or you can take your exhaust steam from your steam turbines and turn it into water with this thing. So yeah, this thing's pretty neat. Pretty neat. I actually really like this one. So yeah, use it if you need it. Polymerization tank is a very critical multi-block for your progression since you'll be making polyethylene with it and PTFE. You'll also be using this to make certain beads and other critical materials. But yeah, this is a very vital multi-block. This is a very good multi-block. You can use catalysts to lower the amount of ethylene needed, for example, to make polyethylene. So yeah, make sure you get this. The precise milling machine is a multi-block used in the production of advanced circuit boards. So this will probably become important as the pack progresses more and more stuff gets added. But currently, there's only one recipe. So yeah, this is the precise milling machine. The pressure swing absorber is your first major source of nitrogen production. It's also used in the production of xenon and other stuff. But this is a very important multi-block as well. Um, Sure, certainly not as much as the friggin' mixer settler, but still, it's make sure you get one of these in your base at some point. The quarry is basically something you can use to literally mine out shafts in the ground, and you can also use it to acquire certain resources. Now, some of these recipes are dimension locked, so you may have to go to the beneath, for example. But you can actually use this for a lot of construction purposes as well. And like, I mean, look at this. Look how fast it's going. It's kind of like Buildcraft, if any of you guys have played that back in the day. But yeah, this is a really really good multi-block. I approve. The quencher has two purposes basically: cooling down hot ingots that come out of the ERFs, or solidifying molten metal that comes out of your forges. So yeah, these are very helpful to have around. The railroad engineering station is used for constructing these monorail trains. So these are pretty helpful to if you want to get things from base to base, point A to point B. So yeah, I mean, yeah. The reaction furnace is like the electric resistance furnace, except it's for chemistry purposes. So you'll see this a lot when you're making PGMs and superalloys, rare earth elements, and some other stuff. But yeah, this is basically a very, very hot chemical reactor. The reverberatory furnace is the little brother of the metallurgical converter. So basically, this is used for copper metallurgy and some early game wrought iron recipes. You'll be replacing this later anyway, but yeah. Rotary kilns basically spin the shit out of the stuff that's inside, generating heat and basically cooking the bastards. And you'll encounter this thing when you're going for chrome, I believe, but you'll use it in a lot of other advanced processing chains. The sieve distillation tower is used heavily in petrochemistry. It's also used in the heavy water line. So when you're going for tritium, make sure you have a bunch of these. The sintering oven basically uses high pressure and heat to essentially put things together without liquefying it. In sussy terminology, you're going to be using this shit to make concrete, and then eventually you're going to be using it to make fuel rods for nuclear reactors. Um, so yeah, and it's used in several other advanced processes, like a lot of these multi-blocks. The smokestack, kind of like the flare stack, voids anything that is smoke. So steam and anything on the tooltip that says voidable with smokestack goes into the smokestack. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. The steam turbine uses steam to make power. I'm literally not explaining what this thing does. You already know. Vacuum distillation towers are used for purifying certain elements, and they're also used in oil processing as well, and a few other applications. So yeah, these are very important when you're going for like petrochemistry stuff. The primitive mud pump pumps mud from underground, and you can use it for gravel, clay, sand, and I think limestone. I don't know. I forgot. I'll put the recipe up here. But yeah, this is just for early game stuff. This is basically how you're going to be making cement, or the start of getting cement. The coagulation tank basically is used for latex. So this is early game rubber production right here. Make latex and make it fast. This is very helpful for Steam Age players. Primitive smelt is the first oven you're going to get when you play this game, so it's not that hard to build, just some masonry bricks. This is early game stuff. I really shouldn't need to explain. The large bronze boiler boils water into steam using solid fuels. I'm not saying anything else. This large hammer is just a bigger version of the forge hammer, so it probably does the recipes faster. It's for Steam. I believe it's used in Steam Age. Yeah. Last but certainly not least is the continuous casting. Now this is actually this is what I call a multi block because it's like a few multi-blocks that make a bigger multi-block. And this is basically what the metallurgical converter is used for. So you get your molten steel, put it at the top, and then it will turn it into plates. I haven't built this yet. None of this footage is mine. I'll credit the owner in editing. But yeah, none of this is mine. But as you can see here, like, look how he's got like a bunch of steel plates very, very fast. Continuous casting is going to be very important for the future, especially involving certain materials. So that is look how nice this looks, guys. Look how nice look at this base. Oh my god, bro. Anyway, that's all the multi blocks. Let's do the outro. What a series of multi-blocks that was. Crazy. I'm exhausted. Thank you if you've made it all the way to the end of this video. And tell me what you thought. To my new players, tell me if you've fallen more in love with the pack. To my experienced players, tell me where I messed up, because I know I sure as shit did. And to the people that haven't played this pack but are contemplating it, come and play it, come try it out. We got tons of content, man. It's still in development, but we got tons of content to keep you occupied for months. And I'm issuing a blanket call to anyone watching. Go spread the word about Sussy. Go to Reddit posts, Discords. Go tell people about it. Tell people to come play this pack. We want this pack to succeed. We want to be popular. We don't want to be the best, but we want to be recognized for the hard work we've all put in collectively as a community. So go and spread the word, fellas. Go spread the propaganda with me. Join me on this quest. Like, comment, subscribe, share, favorite, man. You know what to do. And go and tell your friends and your enemies. I'll see you later.